Hello. We here currently at work. So sometimes I gotta go and ring up some people, whatever. But we gotta talk about the Roger Jackson pro wrestling fight situation. Let's talk about it, man. Rihanna, Chargers blew the game versus 49ers. Yeah, but it's preseason. You don't take too much from preseason games. Kind of like win, you lose, it's okay. As long as the people look decent enough. You don't want to lose, but you rather be able to get all your people going. That's what happened there. But we got to talk about Roger Jackson, man. Rampage Jackson's old. Well, I don't think he's actually the oldest son. Rampage Jackson's son, who has had a crazy week because earlier in the week, Roger, who's training to become an MMA fighter, is 0-1 right now. He's still learning in a good camp, trying to get to that level that his dad once was, and just focus on the game and just doing his best. He been out and had some did some training, did some sparring. Now I will say he probably shouldn't have been filming the sparring, but that's kind of a no-no as well. But sometimes people say, if I'm paying you to spar with me, who cares? So the thing about the camera, and he's doing his thing on Kick, well, he was doing his thing on Kick. Problem with it, when people see somebody with a camera, that makes them act all stupid. Like, I've watched plenty of Rampage Jackson streams, and I'm be like, these girls are nuts. They just saying, they don't even know who Rampage is at this point. They just see the camera, and they just think because he has the camera, he's some famous guy. So they just want to talk to him like that. Like, these jokers be crazy when they see a camera. So it's just craziness when you have a camera. So you add a camera in a situation where we sparring, trying to get that work in to get better. Then you have a situation where everybody ain't your friends when it comes to sparring. They look at it like, you know what, man, that's Rampage Jackson's son. He ain't never had it hard for real. Let me go up on this thing and this is my time. This is my moment. That's basically what that fighter did. And he did hit him with that head kick that should not have happened. But he hit him with the head kick, and boom, Roger basically had a concussion. So remember, early in the week, Roger has this situation. He has a concussion. He's pissed off, embarrassed about that. Because him being Rampage Jackson's son, he has a target on his back regardless. So you're dealing with that. And also, if everybody's coming in right now, let me know y'all thoughts about Rampage Jackson's son, Roger, getting into the fight at the pro wrestling show. Let me know y'all thoughts about it in the comment section. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let's just have a good discussion about it. But he has that. Now fast forward. That's it. It's Cowboys I'm the big fat Elvis Eagles week 1. Oh, they see it coming. I tend to agree. But then but going, and whatever y'all comment, I'm going to read. I read everybody's comments. We talk about it like that. Fast forward, he had been doing a little wrestling training with one guy. So he knows very little that I would trust him in a ring with someone. So you fast forward to the event. He's back there. Everything seems to be fine at first. He's back there with the camera. Lloyd, who is a friend of Rampage, is camera guy. Next thing you know, some dude walks up with a beer can. What's going on, man? And hits Roger in the head with the beer can. I don't know about y'all, but I know about me. If somebody come up to me hits me with a beer can, I'm about to throw them blows. We're about to swing them things. That's what I'm gonna do. And somebody I don't know out of nowhere just hits me with a beer can. Now, granted, and you got to understand this as well, Roger is an outsider. Roger doesn't understand wrestling like that. So, this guy, who's a retired vet, that's what they say. I don't know this guy. He basically saw the camera and assumed Roger was a wrestler, which was stupid in the first place to assume that. So he took that as his opportunity. I only got one shot. I won't miss my chance to blow. And that's what he did. He took his chance, got his beer, boop. So he did that. And obviously Roger was pissed, as anybody would be in that situation. Roger gave him that Chris Benoit treatment. I completely disagree with that. And I knew somebody would bring up Chris Benoit in this situation. I am not a believer in that. But I get why people would bring Chris Benoit up in this situation. But yeah, Roger is definitely dealing with a side effect of a concussion. And Rampage basically was telling him, you need to chill. Don't train for a while. And he decided, let's go do some pro wrestling. And the guy took it upon himself to go ahead and was like, boop. Like, if that would have been me, I'd have been like, are you kidding me right now? Especially if I'm not smarting up to what's going on and some random dude I don't know just hits me. I'm going to have to push you off. I'm going to have to push you to the left. But that didn't happen. He kind of kept his cool there. He was pissed off, obviously. And the line that a lot of them use, a lot of wrestlers use this. Where's the proof? Where's the proof of what? That he got a head kick earlier in the week? That's on the internet. You can Google that. You can easily find that. But the guy was like, wrestlers always working. And I've heard that before too. That when it comes to being around a bunch of wrestlers, they always working, always playing games. So you never always working the gimmick. So you never truly know what you're gonna get. Which I get, and that works when you're with other wrestlers who understand that. You can't expect other people who don't do what you do to understand what you do. You got to explain that to them. And if you don't explain it to them, you better be ready to throw some blows. Because I'll be honest with you, I had a situation where I almost got into a fight with Luke Harper at the time. When he left WWE, he was then known as Brody Lee. I had a situation with him. Rest in peace. I was doing security at a WWE event, I'm here doing my thing. Next thing I know, some dude from behind just pushes me. Oh, right. Okay. Let's see here. Yep. That red one right next to the other one. Is that straight or is that natural? It's long cut straight. What about the one, two to the left of that? Fine cut natural. I'll take that. Guys, I'm back. Like I was saying, I'm at work, so sometimes people come in, I gotta ring them up. But let's read the comment. Wrestling is fake and boring. It's not fake, it's predetermined. King Call. He should have known as a streamer it was a show. They even gave him permission to enter the room. He was only supposed to slam as get back for the. Okay, so here's the thing about that, and I was getting to that. The fact that they were gonna even let him slam him was stupid. To me, this is not a Roger issue. This is the promoter. I guess the promoter is Rikishi. Or this is Rikishi's show, whatever. This is on them. Because they handled this whole situation stupidly. What should have happened and avoided all of this. First off, Roger should have never been there. Should have listened to his dad and just stayed at home, play some video games, do whatever. He should have never been there. But at the end of the day, he was there. And he was with a trusted friend of Rampage. So I believe Rampage truly thought that, the camera, like, you're my son, you should be fine at a pro wrestling event. You got Lloyd, who's a friend of mine, as your cameraman. Lloyd not gonna let anything happen to you. So, and the guy who you've been fooling around with, coaching, doing some wrestling stuff with, was there as well. So I guess he thought he was in a safe space. But as soon as that brother hit him, and his reaction turned to, I want to mess this dude up, they should have left. It ain't no turning this work into a shoot. None of that. He should have left. Because at the end of the day, Roger is still dealing with the embarrassment and just being so pissed off about getting hit by that dude. So when you already pissed off about something else that happened, you feel like you never really got your get back on that. So when something else happens and you feel like you got disrespected, which I feel like he did, you don't know how this man was going to react. And he reacted with a lot of anger. Like, first off, people got to understand, I'm not defending the punches and what he did. What I'm defending when it comes to him is that he should have never been in that situation. It was a failure in everybody involved, because the old wrestler was like, all right, you get your get back. Because he probably went to the trainer. The trainer was probably like, yeah, he's done enough in wrestling that he should be able to do the get back. Because Roger, before it went down, even said, they told me to really punch him, which is a red flag. Because whoever told him to punch him for real should never be a part of wrestling ever again. Cause that was a stupid call. You gonna tell somebody to fight for real? This ain't a brawl for all. You all know what happened there. Half them dudes got hurt. And got doggone poor Bart Gunn was good at it. Then he got him a match against Butterbean, and Butterbean gave him that work. Shout outs to Rihanna. Like, what we doing here, man? I know WWE and the UFC is part of the same company, but that don't mean y'all do this. Rikishi. Just like how when this comes up with Roger, everybody's gonna say Rampage Jackson's son. Same thing. If this is Rikishi's promotion, I'm gonna keep saying Rikishi. You deserve better. You know better than this. You've been in this freaking 30, 40 years. This is your family business. And how's it going, Tony? And your dumb behind decided, you know what? We're gonna let you get the get back. We see you got the camera. We see you Rampage Jackson's son. Can you do a slam like your pops did back in the day in Pride? Sure, I can do a slam. All right. So you gonna use the power. He gonna help you get him up. Cause that was truly a work. Now that part was the work, but I don't get why you would even agree to the slam. Slams are very unpredictable. It is a good chance you get a concussion on the slam because how your neck is going down and then how everything, it's a lot of pressure. It's something that you should not do. Like I know if you watch an MMA movie, they all have slams in them like that, but that don't happen in real life like that. That very rarely happens. I know we had one in the UFC, last weekend, but it don't happen. So don't do that. So y'all was like, you go ahead, you Rampage Jackson's son. Go ahead and pick him up. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and hit up Jonathan Lymon Brand, Cash App. Help your boy out. Do it, whatever. Your boy needs some money. But you lift him up. You do it now, you Rampage Jackson's son. Do the Rampage Slam. It's gonna go viral. So it's like, we could get content on. I get that's what happened. They worked out like, I know you mad. Sorry about that. Let's just find a way to work this out. You got the camera crew. You get in the ring, do the Rampage Slam, and then we go and break it up. Cool. You get your get back. You get content. We're gonna also go viral because they see this happening in our event. Win-win situation. Even though it was stupid, that's a stupid logic to have. You can somewhat justify it because I'm assuming the coach who coached him a little bit probably said he believed that he could pull it off. Also, that slam was what really did it. He was out by the slam. Also, fire that referee. And he should never do anything with wrestling again. Rikishi needs to give up that promotion. And also, when you look at it, because at the end of the day, one thing we know about wrestling, when somebody gets in the ring or something like that happens, who is the person that's supposed to, kind of help protect and get everything going? It's the freaking referee. Y'all and the wrestlers that was also in the ring, everybody should have did what Triple H did back in the day when a fan attacked Stone Cold. Doggone Triple H got up and got on him. And then Earl Hebner got him some kicks in. That's how you protect the business. That's how you protect the boys. That's how you do that. Not with whatever the crap that was yesterday. That was ridiculous. All of them should be fired and never get back in the world of pro wrestling again. Rikishi, you dumb enough to pull that off. You stupid. You should never be involved again. Freaking referee, go back to your day job. You never need to do that again. The guy who's hurt right now, hope he gets to feeling better. But don't go around just hitting people with cans for no apparent reason just because you see a camera. Stupidity on everybody's part. And yes, Roger Jackson deserves a lot of the blame. Yes, he really does. Because he should have never taken it to the point where he get him down, he gets on him, and he starts hitting him. He hit that dude like 22 straight times. End of the day, he's a fighter. And you put a fighter in that situation when you watch the UFC, you know, when somebody's finished. Well, he's out. They don't do no whoop, boom. Oh, he's out. Let me get up. No, the referee has to break it up. So why did y'all dummies not think of that? Somebody break it up. That's what you do in that situation. You never have this situation to begin with, but if you're gonna have it, you gotta have people, you gotta go over it and make sure people are on the same page. At the end of the day, what should have happened, nothing should have happened. Roger should have left and this be a non-story. But if you're gonna continue doing what you do, you have Roger out there, tell him a certain time to come in, he gets them. Actually, it shouldn't have been a Rampage Slam either. He should have just went for a straight up takedown. That would have been a lot safer. So you have Roger come in, do a takedown that they can pull off. And then everybody sees it, and you have everybody in position that the second he takes them down, everybody jumps on him and pulls them apart. That's your moment. That's how you do that. Then that would have been a win-win on both sides. That's how you settle that. Not whatever the crap they did. Like Roger went through the motion, slammed him, got him on the ground, boom. You know, Roger wasn't just doing it for that to that guy. He was doing that he was letting them punches go to the guy who did that kick to him in sparring. It's all his frustrations in general. He was just letting it out there. And none of y'all decided to break it up. Like when he hit number 13, somebody should have been like, maybe we should break this up. But they were like, nah, let him keep hitting them. Stupid. Just ridiculous. Now everybody, the pro wrestler, he ought to be locked up. He's a thug. He's a this, and that. No, he's not. He just put himself in a bad spot, in a bad situation that everybody involved should have thought better. And like I said, do I think he should get jail time? Absolutely not. Like if they want to go through the motions of arresting him, okay. End of the day, what I think is going to end up happening, Rampage Jackson is going to end up having to pay a bunch of money out to this guy. Rampage is going to give him a bunch of money and apologize, and that's going to be it. Hopefully with Rikishi and that place they lose their WWE ID situation that they got, and they just shut down themselves because that organization shouldn't be up. Because that's some outlaw mud show type of stuff. Shout out to Jim Cornette. That's what I want to hear. Jim Cornette talk about what's happening here. The real deal Jim Cornette. Because I feel like Cornette is going to be more on my side. Like, of course, Roger did too much. But it should have never got to that point in the first place. Kind of outlaw mud show bullcrap was that. But yeah, it was just ridiculous. I was going back and forth with a buddy of mine, and we were talking about what is happening. I just looked at one of his replies to me. He was like, He didn't realize that it wasn't a work until the other wrestlers came out. He was like, man, the referee was just looking at him. To me, I knew from the very beginning. Maybe it's because, I'm so into being an MMA fan that I knew once he picked up in that slam, dude was out. Ain't none of these guys that good of actors, that good of wrestlers to pull this off. Like, he was knocked out then. And that's what that slam does. Especially if you don't know what you're doing, that's what that slam can do. And that's what it did. He was knocked out, he ain't getting up, no. So that should have been trash, by the way, XPW. So that should have been the end of it. Had that been the end of it, that still would have been too far, but you can save that. Other wrestlers should have came in then. The referee shouldn't have just been looking at it. So it was a lot of people. But yeah, what punishment? I mean, I guess you can arrest him, send him and take him to jail for a couple hours. He'll get back out, have his court case. The court case probably ends with him doing some community service and Rampage paying some money. That's what happens here. There's no freaking attempted murder. Get out of here with that crap. All these wrestling journalists, wrestling heads want to talk. They all a bunch of pussies. Let's be honest about it. Watch, Gary, you a pussy. You barely watch wrestling anymore since you freaking sold your company. Shout outs to you. You barely watch it, but yet you get on YouTube and do a show about it. Dude, you don't even watch the product anymore. Don't nobody want to hear from you. And I'm a big fan of what y'all used to have. And then you didn't want to put in the work to build up another YouTube channel. You just hopped on somebody else's. Because your opinion is irrelevant anymore. Nobody wants to hear from you. Y'all was like, hey, Matt, let's go on to these guys' podcast. Let's not do ours that we were trying to build. Who wants to build something else? I'm like, trash. And I like Raj. I've interacted with Raj a few times. But he got some bitch in him. He got some pussy in him. And you can't do nothing to me, Raj. So, and some other guy was, everybody doing only went and raved. Wrestling got a bunch of pussies in it. Just keep it in 100. Cause I'm like, just because y'all want to play games, don't mean I'm gonna play games. That's what Roger was like. All right, y'all telling me to hit him for real. All right, I don't know why y'all telling me to hit him for real, but if I hit him for real, don't be mad when I hit him for real. Because when I get on top, you're not going to take me off of him. I'm going to give him that work. You sure y'all want that? Like, yeah, whatever. Like, did he go a little too far? Maybe. But it should have never got there. That's all I'm saying. By trying to compare to Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit killed himself and his family. Man, get up out of here with that. Ain't nobody die for. Man, y'all good away from that bull crap, man. Y'all some dummies. Kevin Slapnut, you talking about cap? You better cap these nuts, homie. Everything I said was some facts. It ain't my fault you a pussy too, ho. Y'all so sensitive. You mess around with somebody, don't be surprised when they come for you. Oh, he hit me. He hit me. He hit me. What did you do that made him want to hit you? I didn't do anything. I didn't hit him in the head with a can. I just told him, hey, you if you want to, you can hit me in the ring, but don't really hit me. You go somewhere with that crap, man.
So, man,
How's it going?
happy Sunday, my man.
Thank you.
Good weekend, bro?
I guess so. How about you?
Not too bad, man. I had a good last weekend. Was pretty, actually 2 weekends ago. My son, he's going to be a junior. He's a junior this year. But he got a full ride commit to South Alabama, play baseball.
Oh, that's good.
And probably going to start as a freshman. He got a full ride. And he got that coach on the phone when they called him, and he was in Dorsia. I've raised him on my own for 11 months. Put him in there talking, and he's like, so, Manny, why do you want to be a Jaguar? He says, well, I love playing at Stanky Field. I love your athletic program. And most importantly, I get to stay close to my dad. Where I cried like a baby, dude.
But I mean, like he did good in that response. But I also think that's a stupid question.
Exactly.
It is
but a lot of they're looking for his character. What they're looking
Yeah.
to see what he says. A lot of kids want to get away from their. I mean, but man, it's just they put him on Jag Nation Radio. He's got 2 full years of high school left, but he says, Dad, if these bigger schools offer, I'm staying loyal and playing my home tennis. I think of watching my kids start as a freshman, drinking a beer at Stanky Field, having anything else is greed, man.
Yeah,
he got a full ride and he's got some NIL, which I don't even half even part of his education, maybe. You know, but they don't usually go after local kids anymore. They've stopped doing it, but there's a lot of local kids they're losing out on Baltimore and Mobile County. So it's cool, man. We're excited about it and get to be in our hometown and watch it play.
That's good because I have an issue because I'm glad for him and I'm glad they finally changed that because I have a big issue with South Alabama because they have not been doing exactly what you said.
Exactly. Well, and Manny's just like, you know what, Dad? I don't care if because Auburn suppose he's interested in. So he's like, I'd rather be hitting home runs against those guys in SEC. I said, that's what I like to hear too, man. He's like, he goes, but to start as a freshman, they can't say that, but he's going to probably. You know, it's just, I'm grateful, man.
That's good though. Like I said, I like the sound of that. I'm happy for y'all, but it sounds like they finally starting to
get
their
shit together.
Yeah, because I'm like, Mobile and Baldwin County has way too much talent for these people not to be. Some of them need to go other places.
Because some conference, you got UMass or USM, Troy. You can beat a lot of these teams to take some of these kids because they're going up. Because we were going to go JUCO baseball, beat a lot of these D1 schools because they go play 2 years and they go off.
Yeah.
But it's just hard to pass out with that.
Oh yeah, no, that was good. I'm happy. That was great.
I'll talk with you some more, man.
All right. Who has no talent? Sorry about that. I was talking to this dad whose son just got a full ride scholarship to South Alabama to play baseball, which I'm happy for him. And when we were talking, he was like, man, like it's weird that they don't really take a lot of local players. And to me, when it comes to South Alabama football and well, really South Alabama sports, it's weird that they don't take more local people because there's a lot of talent in Baltimore and Mobile County that the fact that they don't take as more as they should. And to me, I like the fact that a lot of the kids are able to, who don't go to South, they're able to go to all the different places and get out of this area and do something different. Because I think that is something that is important. But I do think at the same time, it's good. Everybody can't leave home. It's good to have them closer. So it's both ways you can look at it. So I'm happy about that. Yeah, man. It's a tough situation. Roger Jackson, like it looks bad, obviously, and I hate that it got that far. I mean, do I think the young man has some anger issues and maybe has some issues in general? Yes, But I feel like if you talk to almost any MMA fighter or somebody who wants to do MMA, they have those same issues. Like, I haven't seen anything out of him watching his stream with his dad or whatever that makes me think, okay, we need to be on the lookout for him. It's basically what I see in a lot of fighters. This was a bad situation. This is the bad thing about streaming now. If you're a streamer, you got to understand you can't put yourself in all these different situations. When there's a confrontation, you need to leave, because when you're out in places, people see the camera, people go stupid. And this, if Roger Jackson doesn't have that camera, if he's not live on Kick, none of this happens. That guy never goes up to Roger, never hits him with the beer can, and they never have a discussion about what to do with the run in that match. Nothing ever happens. So you got to understand that. I know he's off Kick now. They took the channel away, and he just got the channel, man. I hate that. But hopefully they get it together and they'll come up with something. That's my TED Talk. Talk to you all next time.